Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Phil from Zaid Comics. I'm the writer and co-creator of Magic Hop, which is in demand right now on Indiegogo and just one half of the two best-looking brothers in all of comics. And today we are joined by another great-looking brother in comics, Vinnie Tartamella. What's up, Vinnie?
Hi, everybody.
Thank.
I'm pretty good. Yourself?
Good, man. Yeah, a lot going on in CG and over here at Zaid Comics, getting ready um, at the printers right now, getting the proof copy of Magic Cop, and that should be in next
Beautiful.
week. So really excited.
Hell yeah.
And thanks to you, Vinny, we're going with the amazing Mixum printers.
Hell yeah, man.
Vinny's been spreading the word about them for a while now, and I
Yep.
think Adam Post hooked me up with that. And he was like, "Yeah, Vinny told me about this printer,
hmm
and if you guys are creators out there, Mixum is an awesome." Based in the U.S. They're a British company, but they have a bunch of printers in the U.S. Look at that beautiful print job there, and
Boom.
that's the hardcover that you can get.
You know it.
Adam Post loves when you knock on it.
That's right.
Yeah, every time
This,
you
yeah,
knock on it, Adam Post gets the shivers.
this is my this is the final proof. So yeah, as soon as the campaign's done, I'm going to print and I can start fulfilling these things.
Yeah,
And I'm looking forward to it because this thing is gorgeous and you guys are going to be drooling all over it. So it's a good thing I got the gloss finish. So you can
yeah.
just swipe it up.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, so you guys check out Mixum. Like, they have so many different like variety of stuff you could choose with different covers. Hardcover, you can get the UV gloss on it, all that great stuff. So we're really excited to get that back next week. We're gonna hit the printers and then start shipping out, which is great. And Vinny, we just showed your book Through the Woods is
Yeah.
doing great on Indiegogo. I was just looking back at your past projects,
Mhm.
and you've done so much within just last year alone. What did you have, like 7 different books that came out?
Yeah, four projects, 7 different books, all fulfilled. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. So yeah, this is the 5th campaign, and Through the Woods. This happened because the fans wanted it. I kept getting messages left and right. How do I get my hands on Through the Woods? I missed out because it was my first campaign.
Yeah.
That was 3 floppies all in one shot. So yeah, that was a difficult run. The first campaign. The first campaigns usually are. You learn a lot from it, and I'm kind of a quick learn anyway. So yeah, I made sure my next campaigns would be a little more smartly done. And yeah, even with the fulfillment process, like you learn a lot between packing, shipping, what else you have to really go over to make sure everything is kind of set in stone and everyone gets their books and everyone's happy.
Oh yeah, for
So.
sure. And you having that good catalog of books that are coming out on time, shipping to people, it
Mhm.
seems to be paying off, because this is this not your biggest crowd-funded book yet, wise
Yeah,
on funding?
it's the fastest growing too. I think in under a week I hit 10K.
Yeah.
We're up to we're one sale away from 23,000,
Whew.
which I'm really happy about. And I'm really aiming for 25 to unlock the exclusive, which is the ash can. It's a 20-page ash can that's going to have Kelsey Shannon's cover. It's going to have
Nice.
other artists from CG who were involved in the war campaign, the draw along for Through the Woods. So I'm going to make sure to get those guys in there. The rest is going to be filled with my sketches, stuff that didn't make it into the book, or like layouts and other designs. So, it's going to be real special because it's only for those backers who backed in the first 60 days. So
Right.
March 19th is the cutoff on that. So that's why if you want it, really keep telling your friends about it, share it, retweet it, because we're only $2,000 away from unlocking that. And it's again, very special item only for those backers.
Yeah, no, I love, like, as a creator myself, I love that kind of stuff, getting that behind the scenes look at different
Mhm.
things, and the art from those other artists. I love fan art, and seeing, especially as a writer creating characters, seeing other great creators draw your characters is one of the best feelings ever.
Mhm.
You
It
know,
is.
to see your vision through their hands is awesome. So
Yeah, because yeah,
yeah,
even during that competition, I told him, I said, I don't want anyone to vote on me. Uh, I won already by having these great artists doing these
yeah,
characters because I've been the only person to draw them. So seeing other talented CG artists tackling them,
yeah.
that was super cool. It's the only one who's not going to be in it right now is Narwhal. He got disqualified.
Oh
Uh,
no.
we were supposed to go classy with everyone because that's what we were doing for all the new CG stuff. We only did the first couple of drawing and back holds were to make fun of quote unquote anti CG
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
But we were going to do classy so that we showcase everyone's stuff and really promote the books. And Narwhal was still in that other mindset. Uh,
Narwhal. Yeah, so let's take a look at the campaign.
yeah.
Like you said, this was the fastest growing that you have here,
hmm
and I remember when it launched, it just shot up, man. You did some great early streams.
Yeah.
I think your launch party. I think you did a Red Gaze launch, right?
Yeah. I think
I think that night you made. Oh man, you just skyrocketed. How much do you remember? Do you remember what you made in the first night?
I don't know if it was the night or the full day, but I know it was over $2,000 like right
Yeah,
away.
yeah. I think it was
And
3.
then just it was steady from there.
Right. Yeah. So tell us about the story. Give us your little pitch. What is Through the Woods about?
Yeah, this is essentially it's a ghost story. It takes place in upstate New York. Laura Langley is the story follows her. She's an investigative reporter who inherits this property in upstate New York, and then she finds out why her other relatives didn't want the estate, that it was actually haunted, and there was a really dark story behind it because that land used to be a lumber's camp like 100 years in the past, and some really bad stuff went down. But while she's in her home, she kind of something kind of leads her into this cabin in the back of her property. It's all run down and stuff. And when she's in there, she kind of mistakenly and accidentally reawakens this restless spirit.
Ooh.
And yeah, that's where the story kind of takes off. But we have flashbacks to the year like 1900, where you see what went down on this loggers camp, some of the evil shit that happened, and even in like the first part of the book, like what would be considered issue 1, I did something cool in there where I go from sepia and I take it slowly into color. So it's like the reader is kind of being pulled in to the past, and then like they're there.
Yeah, I love that
Um,
stuff.
yeah, it was something different. I've never seen done in comics like that because it's either straight up sepia and then present day is color. But I wanted to do something different with storytelling. Since we are independent, we can do whatever the fuck we want.
Right.
And that's what I did. I wanted to have fun with it. And the people who have read it, they absolutely love what I did. So I'm thrilled about that. And I'm excited to see like the new readers getting their hands on this very soon. So yeah, it ends on the 19th. So I think we should start printing either the end of March or the beginning of April.
Nice.
We're printing in the U.S. because again, that's where Mixum is, and yeah, the quality is unbelievable. So everyone's gonna be very happy with that.
Saying hi to the chat. What's up, Tungsten EXE? Hail, brother.
Hey, man.
Great supporter of CG books.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is like, here's your stretch goal. It's not going to be your regular like trade paperback, 6 by 10 or whatever it is. It's actually oversized, right?
Yeah, I can actually show you.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is City of Venus. So this is a standard comic book size, which this is still in demand as well. So anyone who wants it can still get it.
Definitely
But
check out City of Venus.
yeah, but check it out. So it's like almost 9 inches by 12 or close to it. So yeah, it's an oversized hardcover book. And yeah, I pulled out all the stops on it. So you guys are gonna be thrilled with what I'm doing in it. And yeah, like I said, the highest quality because everybody, that's what they wanted. They wanted this book. So I said, this is the best way to do it. I started out, I was going to do just a soft cover and see what people thought. But we hit the stretch goal so fast, I just said, okay, I'm just going to rename the campaign. So I did. It's now Through the Woods hardcover collected edition because that
Yeah.
automatic upgrade is for everybody. You know,
Perfect.
there is no soft cover. It's hardcover. And I know it was kind of crazy to do because hardcover is expensive. And most people really won't do that until they get into like the 6-figure range. But
Right.
yeah, for me, this is the definitive way I want to release this book. And yeah, we updated a lot of stuff in here. I tweaked the art on certain pages here and there because my perfectionist side came out, and I'm like, anything that kind of bothered me or needed tweaking, I fixed it. Some story elements were adjusted just a bit here and there. So we're super happy with this, my brother and I. Frankie, he wrote out that story. I did the first draft of the first issue. We changed it because it was going to be more horror and straight up, really, really violent. But he goes, "What if we changed some things here and there?" And we did. We went from straight up horror to more ghost suspense, and then there's some horror in it. And I think the pacing, we did a better job with that too.
Yeah, man. No, I think making it a hardcover and a bigger size, it's going to stand out to your fans, to the backers, and the whole CG network, because you're upping your game again. You're bringing something new to CG that people aren't used to, and you get that feedback. If people dig it, then that they dig it and they want more of this. But it's something unique that no one else is doing. And I think everybody knows that you are a delivery god. That's your reputation in this community is that you deliver, and the books are printed well, so much so that everybody's using your printer. So like, the way you bring out books is the gold standard in CG, and now you're just upping it to a new level. You're throwing a curveball on there and making it even better, which I really commend you for that, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it because it has not been easy to release this many books, to fulfill all that. It's been a lot of work. It's been a very, very busy, fast year. That's why I tell people too. I mean, like, whatever little nonsense or drama that's going on, ignore it as best you can. Get that work done, because remember, fans are who you should be making happy from the get-go.
Right.
That should be priority number one.
Right.
So and like I said, these campaigns, I could have done regular soft cover on this if I wanted and taken most of the money. I'm not doing that. I upgraded to hardcover because that's what the people deserve. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it's my 5th campaign, so for me, it is like a landmark kind of thing as well.
Yeah.
To get this many projects out there. And this already, on top of being hardcover and oversized, we already unlocked the bookmark. And another 2,000, we're going to unlock the ash can and a surprise gift. The surprise gift is going to be for everyone. So not just those first 60-day backers. The only thing that's going to be for those first 60-day backers is the ash can. So again, there's 2 weeks left for that. So anyone who wants it, I urge them, jump in on it now, because you're going to miss out, and then you're going to feel like shit that you missed out on it.
Right. No, for sure, man. And like, again, with talking about the hardcover, as you pointed out earlier, people usually throw that into their campaign when they get, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yep.
And the fact that you're doing it at this amount, it shows that this is how you want the book to come out. You're passionate about it. And even if you take a little bit of hit on it, it's worth it for you, because this is, your book, your project that that's how you want it to be, which is awesome. And people, if you're watching, you haven't backed this yet, we have Tungsten in the chat, says he read Through the Woods. It's a good read, great art too. Hail, brother.
Thank you, man.
So there you go, from a fan. You guys should definitely get this book, check it out, and you'll have it, in almost no time.
Oh yeah, I want to point out as well, the version that Tungsten has is from my previous printer.
Yeah.
So the quality is going to be a little bit different between that original print run and these. I think this one is far superior, because this is my current printer that everyone's been loving. And like I said, to get it blown up to the size that it is, and I compared the old books with how this printed. This is a beast. The clarity on this, every page is, like I told you, man, mouth watering. It's beautiful, and I did it a little bit bigger too because I wanted people to really like see all those little details I put in the background, because there are little hidden kind of things all over the place as well. So yeah, like I said, I'm super proud of it. That's why I keep talking about it. But
Yeah, for sure, man. No, I've been wanting to get you on here. Just been so busy with Magic Cop, and there's so
yeah,
many projects out there. But you're my boy, so definitely wanted to get you on the
hell
show
yeah,
here, brother. And
hell yeah.
for we've I think I had you on for your Halloween book.
I think so.
But if the new viewers are watching this, I
Hmm.
want to talk about you and kind of like your history in the business, how you
Hmm.
got into it, and how you got here. I know you worked with some notable creators. You've been through the con circuit so many times. You
Hmm.
know a lot of people in the industry. I like to
Yep.
talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. I started with working for McFarlane Toys. I was like straight out of high school.
Wow, that's
Um,
awesome, brother.
yeah, I sent like a resume. It was different though. I didn't just send like a regular written up thing. Kind of recorded and filmed the artwork because we thought it would be something different. My brother Frank had that idea. He's like, yeah. He goes, they're getting all these submissions. I'm sure they just flip through them. He goes,
Yeah.
but what if we did something different? If they received a tape or a DVD or something full of work, that would really stand out, and it did. Got contacted right away. I wasn't even sure what exactly they were looking for.
Hmm.
It was TMP, Todd McFarlane Productions, and we didn't know exactly, what division I'd be in or what was going on. But it was an interview up in New Jersey, and I found out it was for the toy company. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I get design shit.
Yeah.
And I pretty much went to work like right away. I was designing like the McFarlane monsters. Um,
So you would do drawn concepts?
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. I would come up with a lot of crazy things. I was responsible for Tortured Souls 2, the Clive Barker line.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, I drew some really twisted shit.
Yeah, my
Uh,
boss has a bunch of those. He used to be into all like Todd McFarlane stuff, Spawn, and there's like a bunch just sitting in a room in my work. So that's pretty cool.
yeah, I guess you would consider it like the golden age of McFarlane toys, when they were still sculptors
Hmm.
and an art department that they really knew what they were doing. Because I think now he might outsource everything to China.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, for a time too, like they really disappeared, and people were curious what was going on because they were just real scanning like baseball and football, sports shit.
Yeah.
Like they would get the actual gear and like the official gear and have someone dress up like it and get into a pose, and they would put them in the real scan machine. Which that
Oh
came
wow.
after. While I was working there, they didn't have any of the real scan shit. And there was someone in the mold shop who was pushing that on them. They're like, yeah, get that, and you can get rid of most of your sculptors and everything. Well, by doing that, you're gonna hurt the fucking company, and they did. Because that
Yeah.
means all the creative ideas are out the window. That means, what about those dragons? What about other monsters? Or these other cool fucking designs? You can't real scan an idea. You need someone with talent who's gonna come up with something cool.
Yeah.
But
For
I
sure.
think he learned it the hard way.
Did you see he's doing Kickstarter stuff now?
Yeah. At first, I was like, yeah, he kind of knows what's up. And then at the same time, I went, wait a minute, why the fuck is he doing a Kickstarter? Because to me, I think he's ripping off fans by doing that. Because he could release whatever he wants. This guy's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and
Yeah.
he's sitting there begging and asking for a handout because he sees, us other creators are doing it and it's working. Then he sees the Top Cow guys doing it, which again, they don't need to be doing that.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, someone in the chat had told me, I think it was El Gargoyle, he told me that the same Witchblade book that's going up on Kickstarter, you could also get it on Amazon.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
So explain that one to me.
I think it's
It's
launching in May on Amazon.
yeah, this thirsty grab to get extra money from the market, because
Yeah.
this is a new market now that they could get their hands on. And to me, it's insulting, and I think they're slapping fans in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see how all that works out. But Todd's actually going to be in Chicago this weekend at
Mhm.
in a Mortal Kombat event. here.
Yeah.
They're doing the finals in Chicago.
Yeah.
And
They got
I used to compete in Mortal Kombat, like go
cool.
across the country and stuff like that. So a bunch of my
Oh, wow.
friends are coming to town. But I didn't get tickets for the finals. I'm gonna see if I can get myself in though. But I guess
Okay.
Todd's like got a table and he's doing free signings and stuff there because their Spawn's gonna be in the new Mortal Kombat, so they're
Yeah.
revealing the trailer for him.
Yeah. I heard about
Sunday.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's excited about that shit. But like
Yeah.
I said too, I mean, he's got stuff happening. I think that Spawn figure from the Mortal Kombat line, I think it's hitting shelves now or something.
Yeah.
And if you ask me, that looks better than that figure that he's trying to do on Kickstarter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, what was the point of doing this Kickstarter thing? It's just to see if it works.
Yeah, it's I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe it's a passion
Yeah.
project thing, and because I know they're doing like the stretch goals where they raise enough money, they're doing Violator, and then they're
Yeah.
doing the next characters and
Yeah,
from the '90s line.
I've said it on two other streams. Again, I think it's a bullshit ploy.
Yeah.
Because I know how Todd is and how he operates, and it feels dirty to me. I'll put it that way. Because he could do these figures by himself. He doesn't need this Kickstarter. Again, I think it's insulting. I think every one of those fucking figures should come out just fine without any help, and just push it and put it in shops like it's supposed to be.
Right, and they would sell too, for
Yeah.
sure.
To do it this way is I want to grab that extra little bit of money.
Yeah, yeah. Well, how did you get into doing comics? Like, what was your first stab at a comic book?
Afterwards, the thing is, I wanted to do comics from day one, and I was supposed to go intern at Top Cow actually,
Oh,
and yeah, because they had invited me to be an intern, but the thing is, there was no money. I had no connections out there. I didn't really have money either because I was coming straight out of high school. So it's like whatever little shitty jobs that I was getting. So I didn't have enough saved up to make a trip like that. But with McFarlane, he's been one of my idols, since I was a kid. And basically, he was in the New York, New Jersey area. I could stay with family and then travel back and forth. That kind of worked out until I eventually got my own place there. So that was more feasible and it was more doable than going across the country to a place I'd never fucking been and everything else. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, when I left McFarlane, I was still doing some design work for like Randy Bowen, Diamond Select.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And then slowly I started picking up a couple of different jobs in comics. I ended up doing like a bunch of covers for a couple of different companies. Blue Water, I had done all those political ones. But they got a shit ton of media coverage.
Yeah.
And I kind of kickstarted that for that company. That's what even got them off the ground. But then they didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and they kind of fell on their face. They weren't paying other employees. I was the only one who was getting paid because my covers were selling their books and got them all that attention. So they wanted to keep me happy. But I was seeing through their bullshit too, and I didn't like that. I was getting these messages from people who either did the interiors or the colors or the letterer, asking me, "Oh, did you get paid?" Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Yeah, take it up with them." And I was messaging them, and I'm like, "You guys aren't paying your other creative people on these projects? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?" And, But anyway, I did some hack slash stuff for Image and Devil's Due. I was slowly starting to get into it, and then I was actually supposed to start working for Marvel on Spider-Man. I was dealing with one of their top editors. And he wanted me to come in like 2 weeks after I sent like these submissions. He goes, "Yeah, I want to sign you right now." He goes, "Don't send any more samples. You don't have to. I want you on the Spider-Man book." He told me what it was. I was like, "Holy shit!" And then like straight up, like right before I had to sign the contract, I got a phone call, and Joe Quesada screwed me out of it. He put one of his friends on the book instead. And I'm like, "Well, what about another project then?" Because if I was good enough for that, and they said Joe's been acting like a fucking asshole. He was getting his ego thing again because a lot of times he was about to get his head was on the chopping block, and he would do these little fucking stunts in the office and try to save his own ass. And a lot of times people took the fall for him, from what I understand. And again, it was ridiculous because I even had John Romita Jr. in my corner. He got me my first interview with them. I had Joe Kubert when he was still alive.
Yeah,
He,
wow.
he grabbed my samples. He went, "Holy shit, your work's amazing!" And I didn't even go to his school or anything. I'm all
Yeah.
self-taught. He was going to get you some work, and instead, Casada traced over those samples.
Yeah, man, I heard that. That's a bunch of BS.
Yeah. Well, and that's another reason why I'm like, fuck this shit. I started doing freelance gigs and concept artwork, for different companies and places, from movies, TV and all different shit like that. But again, taking all these little odd jobs, book covers on like novels and all that kind of stuff. But my passion was actually, making my own comics. So I taught myself how to computer color. Because
Wow.
yeah, when I almost got the Spider-Man gig, I was just doing pencils,
Yeah.
and I've had accolades from so many people in the business, like, "Holy shit, man, this is your line work!" Like they were like drooling on it. I had like Tim Townsend going, "Holy shit, it would be a wet dream to ink over your work."
Wow.
It goes in, and this guy, he's inked over, people like J. Scott Campbell, fucking Chris Botchell, all these different big names.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I mean. Like I brush shoulders with a lot of different people because of all the stuff I was doing. And yeah, and in between everything, I was working on my own stuff. I wanted to start to get some projects out there. And yeah, that's why, like, even my company name, it's Mellow Art World, taking part of my last name. And yeah, it's a world of different art, different genres, a whole bunch of stuff going on. So I've got projects in different levels of completion, kind of all over the place. It's like whenever I was getting an idea, or my brother was, we'd either bounce ideas off of one another, or I would just do my own thing and slowly start to build up, like what I'm getting now. So like City of Venus, that was a story I've been wanting to tell since high school. Like I've had that story in my head. It evolved, and when I really sat down to get it tight and make changes I wanted to make, that's when I was really fleshing out the world even more. So then, yeah, I was doing the work on that and Through the Woods at the same time. I've had another project that was ripped off and became a TV series.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, dude. That's why, like, I keep saying I was Comicsgate before it ever existed, because I was always like, fuck the mainstream.
Yeah.
I've gotten fed up at different points in conventions and dealing with these top editors, these ones that I found out that eventually either like they're involved in that sexual harassment nonsense as well. And I'm like, see, I called it. It's funny to see them going down now. But yeah, they never should have been there to begin with. And that's why the industry's so fucked up. And it keeps getting more fucked up. I know it always sounds like I go on a rant or I'm getting angry, but the thing is, I've seen so much shit. I've dealt with so much shit from a professional level, the amateur level, every type you could name. I've seen how they are and how they treat people, and it's fucking disgusting. That's why, like, Comicsgate and the community that we're building here is so goddamn important, because we're listening to fans. We're connecting with other creators. We're becoming friends with other creators and with the fans. We're all hearing each other out. We're all trying to help one another to get these projects out there, because we have real talent. I've seen other real talent get fucked over as well. I'm not special. I mean, I could say I know at least a dozen different people that I've been tight with as well, who've had very similar stories. There's a reason why these people are hated in the industry. But, corporate-wise, they keep getting stroked, or they stab someone in the back to keep their positions. But slowly it's coming to light. That's why Casada keeps getting demoted, because they want to kick him out of the company.
It's ridiculous, man. Like probably like 4 years ago, I would kill to write anything for the big two. And now getting more and more, knowing people like you, people that are in the industry, becoming friends with people that you just hear these horror stories and you see them now, Dan DiDio getting fired, all these changes happening, Wolverine and Cyclops in a polyamorous relationship with Jean Grey. Like, that's canon now. So
that's embarrassing is what that is.
Dude, I was at C2E2 this weekend. And I had a great conversation with Doug Mankey. Awesome artist. He's doing a bunch of Batman stuff right now. I had him do a amazing head sketch of the Mask for me because I'm a huge fan of the Mask. And I was telling him about the new Mask miniseries.
Hmm.
It's called "I Pledge Allegiance to the Mask," and it's basically the Mask runs for president, and it's a huge hit at what's going on in the political climate.
Okay.
It's hyper political. It's the most political comic I've ever read, and it's just they just trash the series and the legacy of what Doug
Wow.
started back in the
Yeah.
90s. And I was telling him specific scenes of this comic, and he was freaking out. He's like, why would they do that?
Jesus.
It's insane. And he was getting mad about it.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how these writers come in that don't care about a legacy of a character. They don't care about
Hmm.
comics in general.
Yep.
They want to be writing for other things, but they know somebody. So
Hmm.
now they're writing for Marvel or DC or Dark Horse in this instance,
Yeah.
and they are projecting themselves onto these characters instead of knowing about these characters and making them make decisions like these characters would.
Yeah.
They're writing as if they were the character instead of writing the characters.
Yeah. I saw it with Tom King as well. I don't know what he was doing. He made Batman into some kind of cuck,
Yeah.
a baby.
Mhm.
It was the weirdest shit. But yeah, it's Ethan showed it clearly in that video when he talked about that Wolverine thing.
Yeah.
He pulled it up, and I mean, you see the main editor, you see the two writers who are working on it, and I used to know Hickman,
Yeah.
and he told me to I know what some of his personal views are on Marvel in the mainstream, and he wasn't gonna work with them again. When he was done with that Secret Wars thing, and they wanted to do this reboot, he was out, he was done.
Yeah. Well, he
Um,
didn't look happy in that picture
oh
that
no, of
Ethan
course not.
showed.
Well, and look at it too. I mean, he's the only reason he would if you ever see me back at Marvel, it's because they backed up a dump truck full of money
Mhm.
into my living room. He goes, that's basically the only way I would come back to Marvel, and
Yeah.
that's true. And you can see that he's not. It's not his passion. It's not what he wants to fucking do. I mean, he worded them all down to it's the whole mutant thing is now based on plants. I mean, what the fuck?
What?
Yeah, this big storyline that he did or some shit.
Yeah.
It comes down to these fucking plants. The weirdest stuff I've ever heard of. But then you look at who's running the show, who he's dealing with. That weird fat guy with that wet Superman curl on his balding fat
Charlie
head.
Brown. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
holy
like
shit.
Charlie Brown and Wario mixed.
Yeah, and then that other writer, I don't know who the hell she was.
Yeah.
I think it was a woman. Yeah, you can't even tell anymore.
It's
But
true.
he said, yeah, look at her laptop. These bumper stickers she has all over it. Feminists first, all these dumb little things. They're showing the agenda that they have. Now,
Sure.
why would you hire people like that? You are going to destroy legacy characters continuously. They're going to keep going down the toilet, and people are not going to buy it. And what do they get out of it? To say, that 1% is happy now, or it's these people aren't even buying the books. The people who were buying them were diehards, were people who've been reading it all their lives, 60 to 80 plus years or whatever worth of stories. There's a fan base there, and you're going to piss in all of their faces because you want this tiny little number of new readers to pick up the book. So you're gonna the giant number of fans who are still there, you're going to insult them and treat them like dog shit and fight with them on the internet? No, you don't do that. Sorry.
Well, the comics industry should look at what's going on in the film industry, at movies that promote to be, super diverse, very hyper political, hyper feminist. Like Charlie's Angels bombed because that
Mhm.
was how they were promoting it.
Yeah.
The Birds of Prey movie
Mhm.
didn't do well, even though it wasn't that super, have that crazy agenda, but it was promoted to be like that. The actors came out and were like, this is for,
Yeah.
they're going to stick it to misogynists and stuff
And
like that. And
did you see
that
how
hurts
fast
them.
they backpedaled?
Right. They changed the name of the movie. Jesus.
First time I've ever seen that.
Yeah. They changed the name of the movie, which is insane. And it was all because of the marketing of it.
Mhm.
So
These geniuses.
Marvel and DC need to take a tip from that. But I'm fine with them not taking a tip from that because it's still gonna work out better for us.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, and I'll be honest too. It's from way back when I was working at the toy companies. Uh, it's anyone who was in toys wanted to get into film and comics, and anyone who was in film and comics wanted to get into toys. It was a strange dynamic between all that stuff. So yeah, there is a lot of that cross pollination, and that's why those bad decisions are being made because they're
Yeah.
going, oh yeah, this is what's happening in the mainstream right now, or in either politics, or they're putting it in the comics. So yeah, we should be doing that as well, and blah blah blah. They're feeding off of each other, and what they're doing is feeding the wrong information.
Yeah. For sure, man. Yeah, I wrote a article for CG Jumpstart that should be out this year.
Oh, cool.
And I ended it kind of like talking about how, comics should transport you to a different world that isn't this world.
Right.
It makes you forget about this world. And that's in entertainment in general.
Mhm.
You want to be whisked away to somewhere where you don't have problems that you
Of
have
course,
in this
of
world.
course, man. In my books, there are no self-inserts. There are no
Yeah.
hidden agendas. Because to me, it's foolish to do that stuff. I'm with you. When I read a story, I want to lose myself from the rest of the stresses and real shit that's going on in the day. I want to be entertained. I want something I could walk away with, still thinking about and going, "Holy shit, that was cool."
Yeah.
Yeah, and being hungry for more of that. So.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, let's take a look at your tiers really quick.
Yeah.
We got the full graphic novel, $35,
Mm-hmm.
and signed, a little bit extra for signed, $40 for the
Yeah,
signed.
just
graphic
$5
novel.
more.
Now, is this signed by both the creators or just you?
Both. No, both.
Cool.
Yeah,
Get your brother also.
of course.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
You got the 2-pack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a little bit newer of a tier. I think that's why it's there's not so many people who picked it up yet. But yeah, that's great for a discount for shipping and all that. And remember, those people so far who did back it, if we hit that 25K, they're getting 2 of everything. So that means they're going to be getting 2 of the ash cans as well.
Very cool. Awesome. And then you get signed graphic novel plus sketch. Now tell me about this one. $200.
Yeah. Actually, wait, do I have it in this book? Yeah, I'm actually doing one of my tight detailed drawings, and it's going to be on like the inside of the book. So like,
oh, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I started doing a loose sketch, but yeah.
Oh,
so
wow, man.
you open up the book. Yeah, man. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So it's even extra special and cool that you get it all contained in one spot. This beautiful book. Yeah, I mean, you can even see some of the pages in here. This is concrete. This is no grift.
Wow. No, that looks great, man.
So yeah, man. Then I put the whole thing together. All the lettering, all the artwork, the logo.
Show the back cover too. I like the back cover.
Yeah. Actually, I should go with the final one. This one has the barcode on it. But yeah.
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah, this thing is killer.
I dig it.
Literally.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, man.
And then the last one you have available here for $3,000. Oh, this is the original cover art, which is traditionally done, correct?
Yep, that one. It was all penciled and inked on 11x17 board. It is the only artwork I'm selling from this campaign, from this whole thing. Because the original book, I had done most of the drawings in my sketch pad, and I'm not cutting up my sketch pad to sell pages like that because it wasn't done on traditional board. I would either scan it in and start doing digital inks or straight paints from there. So my process was different. But the new cover I did traditionally. That's why it's so much. The pirate book, I'm doing a whole bunch of pages traditional. I'm doing a mix, kind of. I have a few pages I did all digital, but most of them are going to be penciled and inked or totally penciled. And then I'll do some digital inks. So when I'm actually doing the tiers on there, I'll have different levels of it. If people just want pencils, if people want full finished inks. Cool. I want to give something that's a little bit more reasonable price range as well. But yeah, so yeah, there's going to be more original artwork from me coming out.
That's great. No, because man, seeing that little sketch inside that cover, that was really badass.
Yeah, man, and yeah, that head sketch you just went past, that's the level of detail. So it's not not a loose crappy drawing. It's tight, super refined. Like almost ready to be inked.
Yeah. No, I dig that. That looks great.
Thanks, man.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't mind, brother, going to talk about Magic Cop for a second, and then we'll get out of here. Let's see where we're at. Magic Cop. All right. Actually, we are a little farther along now. Yesterday, we just broke 8K.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So
Dude,
super excited about that, man. Yeah, I am ecstatic at where we are in the process as well. I just posted on Facebook. There was a memory from last year today. I think I just finished writing the script for Magic Cop.
Oh, wow.
Today last year. So now we're off at the printers. Like I said earlier, we're getting the proof copy back next week, and then going to look through there. If that's all set, we're going to be sending out to get all the prints in and ship it out at the end of the month. So we are on time, just like I wanted to. Which is funny because that original script was 88 pages, and I bumped it up to 92 pages because I changed the ending a little bit.
Wow.
So, but we're still on track, man. Everything's ready, set to go. If you guys are watching this for the first time, Magic Cop is a 1980s mashup of Miami Vice and Halloween Town. You get those magic monsters with the cool crime story, crime fantasy of Iggy Cromwell. He's a new magic cop in the city of Ambrosia. With his magic wand passed down generation to generation, he has to learn to work with his Wolfman partner, who's on the urge of retirement, as they investigate the murder of a mermaid prostitute. So there's a lot of fun here. We get this beautiful back cover piece by Passion for Drawing.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Oh yeah, man! It's just along the way, meeting all befriending all these awesome artists who've helped out, done fan art for us. If you guys get our featured tier, it comes with the Ash Can, which has a bunch of fan art in it, as well as a 12-page pilot issue and this beautiful cover by Elliot Fernandez, which is still up for grabs. We have the original cover arts for sale as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so everybody check this out. We're going to leave it in demand a little bit a while longer. We do some overprinting, just like Vinnie does with his campaigns. And I think that's, a great thing you could do on Indiegogo. If you go with Kickstarter, you can't do that at all. There's no in demand at all.
Yeah, and I nearly doubled, I think, City of Venus almost by keeping it in demand. Yeah. In fact, I thought about closing it a couple of times, but I ended up I went back to the printers and I did another print run.
Wow.
So yeah, it was worth it. But Through the Woods is going to be a different story because hardcover, you can't just do that. I mean, that's an arm and a leg. So I will overprint, but yeah, if I put it in demand, I haven't decided yet. But if I do, it's going to be for a small window. Because I'm going to make this book more special, and it's more first come first serve kind of thing.
For sure, man. Yeah, so guys, check out Magic Cop. Check out that featured tier. And then also we have a mailing list for our pre-launch page of the Lost Pages, which is our next installment, our next project that we're doing, launching after Magic Cop ships. So, Vinnie, you're always talking about your projects are super different in genres. And that's what we're trying to do over here at Zaid Comics as well. So if you guys, you aren't sure about Magic Cop, it's cartoony, it's totally different than anything in comics right now, coming out from that kind of like crime fantasy genre. We have the Lost Pages, which is coming out, and this is multiple genres. The main thing is they're all heroes in this universe, but they're drawn in different styles. They're separate stories of these heroes that eventually will meet and come together. Totally different style than Magic Cop here. The Silhouette, who's like our supernatural vigilante, kind of like drawn in a Frank Miller style. Then we have Wildcard, who's an ancient sorcerer from Merlin times. Joe Ball's doing this hyper detailed line work in this pirate story.
Love Joe Ball.
Yeah, Joe Ball is a beast. We're hitting, if you guys are a fan of 90s comics, we have The Wolf, who's a great artist, a good friend of mine from Chicago. I've known her for years. She's doing this story of a character named Crimstone, who's like our 90s hyper-violent Lobo, Pit kind of character. And then if you are into the like classic pulp heroes, we also got a character for you named the Masquerade. So check out the Lost Pages. Both of those links, all the links are down below to Vinny's book, to Magic Comp, and to the Lost Pages. Get on this mailing list so you know when we are going live. And yeah, that's
That
what's
sounds awesome.
going on with Zaid Comics, man. A lot going on in 2020 for all of us, brother.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, we are working nonstop.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, Vinny. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you, man. I wish we could do it more often, but we're always, working.
I know, yeah. Like I said, if you catch me in some live streams too, man, say hello and look for a link. I'll drop you one.
For sure, man. Thanks. I appreciate that.
I've been doing it with a couple of guys, but again, if I go on a rant too sometimes, or if my guest does, I kind of lose track of the chat sometimes. I've been guilty of that.
Of course, man. Where can people find you, brother?
You can find me on Twitter. I'm at Vinnie Art. That's my handle on most social media. On Facebook as well, on Instagram. And YouTube. My YouTube channel is growing as well. I think I'm over 400 subscribers now.
Wow, nice, brother.
This week, it's been doing pretty good. I've had Malin on, Cecil. I've been doing some celebrity guest interviews. Did a couple of those. I'm always trying to change it up as well. So if I could bring a little bit of like some of the work that I've done, or some of the people I've run into in the industries, I'll try to get them on. Provided they're cool people. Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm working on a couple big names still, but some of them are long shots. Some of them seems like it's going to happen, but it's kind of a waiting game too because everyone's schedules are busy.
Oh yeah, man. And so everybody, if you liked the show here today, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when we are going live for little interviews like these. We try to do these every week, and I think I'm going to leave everybody with this beautiful video, this ad done by our boy Kelsey Shannon. I think this is one of the best ads for a comic on Indiegogo right now. So let's take a listen.
He's awesome.
Back through the woods today on Indiegogo.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We will check you later throughout the week with more videos.